pulled from this deck in a while. So we are going to go into it and see what the divine has me here telling you this morning. I woke up on the side of the bed that has me still in my pajamas and my bonnet at 11 o'clock. Ace of Crystals or Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. I'm just sensing it's like this really interesting dark, I don't know, energy. Like the goodness is coming, the abundance, yes, but the dark energies that I've been feeling during this retrograde, which is kind of why I'm here. I think that's all that the divine wants me to share with you today. So we'll get right into it. Yeah, I'm sensing a form of darkness that's really interesting. Crystals represent the physical realm, for example, money and possessions. The element is earth, previously pentacles. Ace of Crystals is an opportunity, a seed to plant with unlimited potential. Yeah, a new opportunity has popped up, possibly a financial investment. Think of this as a seed. Planted, it has unlimited potential, but it will need a lot of tending in order to grow. Put time and consideration into where the seed will grow and how it will best thrive before planting it. So, yes, it's coming, and you are co-creating. You are in a space of co-creation. When it comes to that, I'm also sensing, though, there's some darkness around it, and some of it is protective energy, and there isn't anything wrong with protecting your energy, protecting your peace, protecting your future, protecting your abundance. All of that is exactly what you should be doing. There's just something else, though. Knight of Wands, goal-driven, impulsive. The Knight of Wands pursues their goals unapologetically. This drive and passion make them charismatic and attractive to others. Be wary of being too impulsive and consider the impact on those around you. So, I am sensing that the things that you're supposed to be tending Most High, Divine, how do I say this? I see it in my head. It's the difference between tending a garden and working hard for something. It's your mental shift, the one 3:33 on the timer, the one that you are needing to, that darkness that's shrouded around that good shit is coming / you've been working toward. It's it's tainting it. You have to let it go. You have to let the mindset go that you have to work really hard when all you're supposed to be doing is tending your garden. It's a very gentle process to tend a garden, to co-create and co-work with earth to grow something. It's not all day, all night. It's not long hours. It's not ambition. It's not manipulation or planning necessarily in that way. It's a very gentle process to... It's almost like you think that you have to put in so much work. Because this is what you're used to doing in order to look blessed. And like you are now stepping into real blessings. Real, like the tangible shit, like the actual shit. You have manifested. Oh, my screen is dirty. And it's distracting me. But you have like really stepped into the manifestation of some real shit. And you are kind of stuck between this idea that like you do need to actively co-create with spirit on these things. It's not just put it in the dirt and see what happens. You still have to water and moisten your soil. You have to make sure that the soil is rich enough to sustain the life. It's a different kind of planning though than writing the list and checking it twice and calling 15 people and, you know, begging for sales. Like, no, I am actively pursuing the growth and the abundance that comes from the growth. It's different to plant a mango tree that will, you know, having faith that it will grow into that tree of abundant fruit versus working really hard and like making sure those files get filed away, bro. Like your brain's in the file it away, bro, and you're being asked by the divine to plant it in the soil. Keep watch, water when necessary. Like it's a very different shift. Very, 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 very different shift. And it is super, super interesting to me that you're in this place. I want some clarity. I want to see, I want to see the clarity of it. Pink could be significant to you because the crystal, the Ace of Crystals is a pink one. Our knight is wearing a nice pink dress with matching boots. Green hair could be significant, dyed hair, rings on your finger, you might like rings. I literally just threw this on. It's like this thing that I made, and I threw it on, so rings could be significant to you as well, like, rings in an asset way, not like a commitment way, is what I'm hearing. Let it go. Like, okay, yeah, you have to let it go. You have to let go of that mindset that all this beauty, all this abundance, all this good shit is coming because you're working like a workhorse. Like that, no. Carry hope. It's funny because this is, rainbow energy in that card and Rainbow Moon Tarot, so, I'm gay and queer. This channel is gay and queer energy. You can resonate as a gay queer person. It's Rainbow Moon Tarot, very rainbow gay coded, obviously. Queer coded, yeah. Thanks, Samantha West. Faith transcends. I think that's it. I think that's, you have got to let this shit go about, like, I thought there was going to be more to this, but no, we're sitting right here, and we're going to keep saying it over and over again. It's almost like you've been given the abundance, and if you, nurture this, it will continue. Like, it is just an everlasting thing, and you have got to let go of the notion that you have to play by the same rules as everyone else. That's what you have to let go of the idea that you play by the same rules as everyone else ever again. You're not even playing a game. You're not even playing a game. You're not playing a game. You're not playing a game. I feel like I needed to say that over and over again because this is the moment that you are going to realize that the divine has something in store for you so great, so outside of what the material world can understand. Like this, pentacles, crystals, that's material. That's a gemstone. That's in this hemisphere. That's something that you can. This is a mixture of hematite and no, I think this is hematite and I forgot what this blue crystal bead is, but this rainbow one here, these two, the gold and the rainbow one, are just types of hematite. And then this one is like a dyed agate or something like that. I could be wrong. And then these like brass chips, right? Like, crystals have value, energetic value, and output. We're not talking about like pretend numbers that equate to pretend money. We're talking about things that produce energy, life-giving output. You're not even playing the game. And so, you're in your Knight of Wands energy, and you are being asked to and then all of a sudden my throat's messing up again. You are being asked to step out of the headspace that you're used to. There is a way to be in your Knight of Wands energy in a balanced way. Transcending hope. In a balanced way. You can balance your life beautifully, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Cool. The goddesses want to talk, and then I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go. My grandma used to say that to people when she was on the phone with them. She would just like, when she was done talking, she was just like, I'm gonna let you go. And that's just like they'd call her and she's just like, I'm done talking. I'm gonna let you go. So some of you may be working on, oh wow, boundaries. Some of y'all may be working on your boundaries. Some of y'all may be working on your rage, and that rage is part of your hypervigilance, and maybe that's the thing that you need to let go. Rage and desire. Triple moons could be significant to you. Oh, that fell out. Yeah, triple moons could be significant to you. You could have a Medusa tattoo or a Medusa piercing. I have both. Ngame, yeah, oceans could be significant. You could have gone to the beach recently. I did. You could stargaze. You could be into looking at the planets or learning about them. But these two came out for you. Like I said, triple moons could be significant to you. I'm still getting used to like not mirrored stuff. So let's go right into it. Medusa. It says here, Shadow of Rage, Libya. Element Fire, Temple Shadows. Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth, this Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. I encourage you to, as a quick aside, I'd encourage you, if you feel connected to anything Greek and Roman coded, or you ever get curious about like your patron that you either worship or follow or work with, look up and see if there was an African version first. Because Medusa is one of them that is interesting when you look into the backdrop of like why Medusa is what she is now to the general population versus the Libyan shadow goddess of rage and fire. Her shadow guidance says you are pissed off and petrified, angry and shaking, but underneath that you are hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. Yeah, like, you need to let it go. And I think you need to let it out in order to let it go. I feel like, yeah, this Knight of Wands energy looks like it be holding shit in. Look at that. Like, beautiful and tortured soul that you are, and you're over here just in the rain trying to make the best out of it, but you're doing it alone. And last night when I did the reading, the last reading I did, it said to connect. You need to go and talk to other human beings, okay? The embodiment here says take a breath, close your eyes, put both hands over your lower abdomen. Tune into, and this is your kundalini. The snake at the base of your spine. My therapist hit me with something yesterday. She said, I can see that you're still coiled and ready to strike. And in that survivalistic space, and part of healing and sometimes part of resistance is to uncoil and to not be resilient and to not be ready to strike and to be. And then I was like, plasma. To be able to just move freely, because that is how I operate, not how your actions force me to operate. It's a very interesting thing. That kundalini energy, the snake at the base of your spine, tune into that part of you that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing, golden light. Now put both hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. That's your, you need to do some root chakra and some heart chakra healing, because those two, the root and the heart, have a connectivity that is deeply, deeply, deeply emotional, deeply, deeply feeling, deeply, deeply sensitive in the nervous system, in the nerves. Like, it's got nerve endings. Like, it's very sensitive, that connection between those two chakra points. Sacred rage inspires us to run for office, that's right, lead protests, and shift policies, but unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. See, you have to let it go. You have to get it out, because part of the process of co-creating with Earth in the space of growth in that way, planting seeds and growing them and nurturing them, part of the nurturing process is to speak life and transfer life energy to that being that is growing. And so, like, it's literally never just enough for any, like, sentient being. Even there are studies that show that, like, even if you feed the child, keep the child clean and bathed, if you are not speaking, if you are not breathing, if you are not emitting life-giving, loving energy, the development of that child is completely stunted. It is considered trauma to that being. Like, a lot of things need the nurturing energy, and this is why you get caught up with shitty people, because they need that life energy to sustain them, even if they are not willing to work on, being open to it. It's like they'd rather siphon it from you against your will than be a functioning member of a peaceful society. And reciprocate in any way. These are called vampires. These are just energy cannibals. Like, they just consume. Um, so don't let it consume you. Yeah, unhealthy rage can devour your very soul, and I think a lot of people are in that, like, very unhealthy rage. Like, look, given the world that we live in, I get it. So you're in this Knight of Wands energy where you are holding it in, probably in the heart. You could be experiencing a lot of chest pains. You could be experiencing a lot of like lower back pain. Some of you could be experiencing. I'm getting, I'm always getting hit in the throat chakra. Like, it's I guess I can talk about it. I definitely just, quick aside before we finish Medusa, because, I've been in a space where I feel led to chat with you about things. Um, it's interesting because I used to be so afraid when I started this journey on YouTube where I would do these readings and I gotta like, I was wearing a lot of like protective amulets and jewelry and all of this stuff. And I was like, yeah, like no one's gonna fuck with me in the spirit realm. Homie, like you cannot control that. People, you cannot control another person. No matter how much you try, fundamentally speaking, like you may get what you want, but I don't think, like, there's just a lot of people who are not capable of being broken. There are a lot of beings that cannot be broken. There's, I think of Spirit the horse, you know? Like, at the end of the day, that was not one of them. Like, he was not going from beginning to end. And I used to be so afraid of things like this happening where, like, I lose my voice. I once went recently to a church. It was due to a family event. I don't go to church on my own. That's not a place. That's not a place that I feel I want to energetically invest in anymore. Um, so like usually if I step into a church, there's a totally different reason. And so I'm at this place and this guy was talking about the love of God in a way that was actually for that particular sect of human being. It was a radical thought to have. But he was also a radical choice to have as a speaker at this church. So it was just kind of like, yeah, English ain't his first language. He's talking about God's love. He's talking about, his past. They have the testimony thing, but like, this is a church full of people in redneck parts of Arkansas. And I could feel when I was in the space that there was already an issue with, amongst the certain people in the congregation as soon as I walk in, which, like, I mean, I had, like, at the time I was, like, just bright pink, reddish hair, dreads. I was not out here being subtle. You could, I think, it doesn't matter. I don't remember what I was wearing or anything like that, but I definitely wasn't trying to fit in. Like, I was who I was within the, within the the dress code, I could say. Not modest, but I was tasteful and classy because that's what I like to do. And there was issues. Like, some of them, oh, I mean, just the way that, like, people react to just being brown and eclectic. Like, they don't know anything about me. It would have made it way worse. A lot of, and to say, a lot of the people in this establishment, I'm sharing this for a reason. There were a lot of people in the establishment that were blessing me because they could not get over how beautiful they believed I was. And I was getting free things. Let's be clear. While I was there, I was very blessed. Nobody knew me. There were brown people in this church, but they were conforming and they were white passing. And those people gravitated toward me. There was a Trinidadian couple writing me notes telling me how beautiful and loved I was just because. Had a lady give me like free holistic skincare because I reminded her of her daughter, Indian lady. So like, but there were lots of other people they will still go to the same church as those people so long as those people conform. And there was a lot of conforming still going on, and they saw me from a mile away, and while the people of color gravitated and loved on me, we all know what kind of people they were in this church, and they were having a hard time. Even the people sitting behind me were making commentary on this pastor's accent. I say all this to say, I walk into this place and I consecrate it as a space 25-25 to whoever that matters to. I consecrated that place as a place that is unworthy of me, and still I choose to be in it. And I'm in there in that energy. And then I notice that as this pastor is trying to talk about the love of God and how God loves everybody, bro, he starts choking. And then he chokes so bad that he completely loses his voice. And I'm like, I don't believe in this establishment, this religion, this sect of Protestantism. Like, there are fundamental things about it that I'm just not going. But I think he's being spiritually attacked. And it felt like just the group of people that were really not okay. Just like, why does he have that accent? Where is he from? He's not American. This nigga was Puerto Rican. Oh my God, he was Puerto Rican. And they were just like, oh, about this and that. And their whispers are not that subtle. And then this man all of a sudden is like coughing and loses his voice. I start praying. I'm like, I remove the blockages of the throat chakra. I remove the blockages that try to impede truth from coming out of anyone's mouth in this vicinity. I start like praying that shit out. I start incanting. I start spell work. I'm like, nah, rah. And I had my look. No, we're not doing that here, not in my presence. Like, because what if you do it to him and he's spitting truth, you're trying to do it to me, and I'm gonna speak my truth. Yo, he had to drink water. His wife gave him aromatherapy peppermint drops for his throat. Like, and eventually he was like, I gotta keep going, whether my voice gives out. And it was like, get clear on what is really happening. I used to be so afraid on YouTube. I saw a spiritual attack, and then I experienced it, and then I realized, like, yeah, some of the do it scared is also doing it attacked. Yeah, so my throat is always getting attacked, and I do my protection work. I do my wards. I do my prayers. It is, what a testimony it is to be able to speak past even attacks, to be able to stand in a war zone, because there is stuff, there are battles. That's why the rage is necessary to process healthfully. You're not enraged for no reason. There is battles out here. You will be attacked. People will just decide not to fucking like you and are willing to do lots of things to you because of that. Get clear on what is really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened does not mean you are being threatened. Just because you're attacked doesn't mean you're actually like taken down. Like, what? I hesitate to think, like, with all that negative energy, did they think that this man was gonna just stop the sermon because his voice got a little touched, a little turched? Like, with my throat, like, with whatever, because, like, I'm telling you, I used to be so afraid, and I even knew who it was. I even know who it is. I know who is doing the attacking and stuff. I know. And I don't care, because, like, what a testimony it is. I think about, like, who could be potentially on the other end of the world, even. Just sitting there, rubbing their little hands together like a little hungry fucking fly. Like a fucking fly, like, yeah. Her voice cracked. His voice cracked. Like, I got that bitch. Their voice is sore. They must be suffering. Honestly, not really. I'm having a great time. Like, you are not threatened. You are not harmed. You are no longer in survival. Oh, declaration, I have a right to feel my feelings. And that is the ticket. The balance is, this shows strength I feel like you're putting on. There's a lot of strength that you're exuding. Like this is, hold on. Like I said, having a hard time. This right here is a shield. That's a shield. Snakes everywhere. Look at that beautiful, beautiful being. You can feel your feelings, and that's the ticket. That's the thing that's bridging all of this together, and you can uncoil. If anything, that body, that snake-like body that I can see, I'm seeing this visual of you like as a snake, like uncoiling from that tight coil that's like, and you're uncoiling. And as you uncoil and unravel, it's like you are able to move freely now. You are no longer stuck in that moment of fear and anger and shame, maybe. Ngame, you can transition right on over to your desires. you can transition right on over to your desires. When you do that, when you unravel yourself, my goodness, Temple of Conjurers, Ashanti Akan, goddess of desire, Ngame is the triple moon goddess of the Ashanti. Every new day, this mother goddess rebirths the sun, shooting life into us with her moon bow. Her lunar rays illuminate souls. Guidance says dream bigger. Puny desires constrict you. Your desires create your life, so allow them to flow boldly. Embodiment. What do you really desire? Get specific. See it, smell it, feel it, buy it, use it, break it, fix it, call it in now. What you desire desires you. Does your desire flow from love or fear? Manifestations that come from fear-based desires keep you safe and small. What I say. And tightly coiled together. Desires that come from your soul expand your world. Can't make this shit up. Declaration, what I desire desires me. And I think that's kind of the point. At the end of all of this, what I'm seeing is you are in a season of calling your community together. And you attracting this community has every bit to do with you being all of you. And that means, like, it's hard to see what you look like when you're all balled up, all tight and balled up and scared and angry. You are in the safest place in the world right now to uncoil and just allow the full range of yourself to take up space. I feel like you need to hear that you are allowed to take up space at this time. Your desires, the things that you want, you are not intrinsically alone simply because you do not have the human beings around you that you're wanting right now. You are also not intrinsically alone because you still have yourself to get used to being. You are in this Knight of Wands energy and you are, I feel like, expanding. And as you let it go, you're opening yourself up. And in perfect balance, in a beautiful way. You're spreading your wings. You're surrounded by the beauty that is you. Like, even in this card, too. And yeah, you're having a little bit of a tortured kind of... But you're carrying that hope really well. I know you are. But this is a reminder that you are in a space where you are in your Ace of Crystals energy right now as the Knight of Wands. Right now, you are needing to embark on the journey, of fully opening yourself up and releasing everything that is you and having faith that you are beautiful throughout that entire process to you and to the universe. This almost feels like your connection to spirit, your connection to source, your connection to the divine, to the universe, is directly linked to your merger of expanding, releasing, and movement. Your desire is the exact same desire as the universe's desire. And so what you now have to realize is that you have to walk in life as though you and spirit are the same, on the same type of time, manifested in two different spaces, operating as itself in two different settings of this corporeal physical form, and moving with the faith that the universal side of yourself has got you covered. Because just because you don't look like you're playing the game anymore doesn't mean you're in danger. But it is noticeable. So, get used to being noticed, too, I guess. Get used to being noticed. Bye.